What's cracking, guys? Welcome back to yet again another episode of the Honda Recap. I got a bunch of stuff I want to cover, some cool channels to discuss. A lot of people are making a lot of progress. Let's get in this. What's cracking, guys? Welcome back to, like I said, to another episode of the Honda Recap. If this is the first time you're watching, basically what I'm trying to do is go over everything that's gone on in the Honda universe here on YouTube from a lot of the bigger channels and a lot of new channels as well, and kind of go over it in one digestible episode every Monday night at 8 o'clock. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and that bell so you're notified. I air this every Monday night at 8 o'clock. Thank you to all the new subscribers who have joined in from other channels or from the Del Sol or any other way that you found my channel. Thank you so much. And to the OG guys, people, right now, all you guys in the premiere, what's going on? How's your Monday night doing? I hope the weekend ran well for you. Let me know what you guys are up to in the comments and in the premiere right now. I'm always in there trying to talk to you. And for all you new people, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, hang out in the premiere. Make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every Monday night at 8 o'clock when this thing airs. With that said, I want to kick this off with one of the channels that I haven't really talked about in the past and isn't really a huge Honda channel, but is doing something really cool with the Honda, and that is TommyFyeah.
99.999% sure. This is the fastest all-motor K series in the world?
In the world, yeah.
In the world.
That's so crazy.
Well, how much power does it make?
530.
Look at that.
How much?
530. And what'd you run?
916 at like 152.
Oh, 916 at 152.
God,
That's close to 8.
How do you even do that?
It's gonna go into 8s. This thing looks sick.
It does.
It looks real sick. Oh, this looks familiar.
I know a lot of you might know TommyFyeah from other builds and other channels, hanging out with Ricer Miata, Chris Rudnick, and things like that. But it's really cool to know that he's building a K Miata right now and has for quite some time. And it's been cool talking to him and just kind of watching the build and everything he's got going on with that right now. He went, I think, with a Z3 Trans K24A2 motor, 50-degree VTC cam gear, did all the stuff that he could do. He's got a bunch of K-tuned parts, and as of lately, he's got Stance 3-way suspension in it right now, and he's got a couple other tricks up his sleeve. But I wanted to bring up the fact that it's really cool to know that he's building a Honda to the best of its ability, but it is in a Miata. And if you watch one of his latest videos, he is out there in Connecticut. So he's out there at Marsh Tuning with Jamie Marsh, who's actually going to be tuning the K Miata. I think he's honestly going to hit well over 250, maybe close to 300 all motor in the K Miata, which is quite substantial. We all know that right now. But he's also challenging Taylor Ray and his LS Miata to some track time, and they both like, you know, drifting, and they both like track stuff. So it's going to be a really fun match. I just really love the fact that Tommy's out there building a Honda engine, realizing the K series is, man, it's pretty powerful, and knowing that he's out there with Jamie Marsh, getting it worked on, getting it tuned, and I want to see what kind of power that actually puts down. All right, guys, with that said, let's kick this off with some people that we've talked about in the past and other people. Right now, I want to start this off with Steven Ocasio. He's been working on his hatch for quite some time. We all know that. And the B16 is actually doing quite well with the turbo. But everybody knows if you're going to build a car, consider it your race car, show car, whatever you have it, you need a daily driver. And I think that's what he's trying to do right now with the Sentra that he's been working on. It does need a little work, but he's a car guy. His dad's an awesome mechanic and just an all-around handyman, so they're trying to knock out as much as possible. Props to you, man, because I tell everybody if you're going to build a car, obviously have a daily. I try to tell myself that all the time. I never really listen. But other people, I also tell, if you're going to have a Honda and it's going to be a race car, get yourself a car that you don't really care about, a Corolla, you got a Sentra, just a different car that's not a Honda, because inertly we're going to want to mod them. So if you have a car that you can just get in, shut the car off, leave on the curb, run in, do some errands, come out, and not have to worry if it's still going to be there, that's the move to make. So props to you, man. I'm glad you're putting in a lot of elbow grease getting that car running. Following that, we got Javi Vibes. I've talked about this guy a long time ago, but in his latest video, he's actually going over an extremely clean Midori Green EK hatch. It is mint. When you look at the inside, SIR interior is looking amazing. He's got some cool additions to the exterior of the car, but still keeping it extremely stock. When they popped the hood, everything looked OEM. I think actually it was a poor man's Type R, if I'm not completely wrong, but everything in there looked very nice, very OEM, nothing crazy. And it is, like the title says, one of the cleanest Midori Green EKs out there. Just so you know, if you watch that video and then you watch Tommy's videos, he actually is Galapagos green, I'm pretty sure. Let me know if I'm right about that, but there is a distinct difference. The other Midori green out there, I think, is on the Just for Fun channel. That is another incredibly clean hatch as well. So if you haven't watched Javi Vibes, definitely do that. He's got some amazing content. The quality is outstanding, and he's got a couple cool cars himself. All right, following that, we got Brad from the OldSols working in the barn again, getting everything ready on the Del Sol. He actually has full LED lights in the headlights, the auxiliary lights, and everywhere else in the car. So I'm super happy that he's putting in the time. And I knew he's got a couple other things for Christmas stashed for himself under the tree. I know he's going to make a couple videos about those in the future. I'm just really happy that you're putting in the effort, running out there in the barn in the cold Nebraska winter, and you're trying to get the car prepped and sanded for paint. So if you guys aren't checking out the OldSols, definitely do that right now. Following that, we got Chris Sadowski with the DA and the Fast Brakes Big Brake Kit. If you guys don't know what Fast Brakes is, it's a really cool guy out there in Arizona that finds ways, basically making brackets allowing you to attach like Mini Cooper 11-inch rotors to CRV calipers or even LS calipers if you're on an EF chassis, and basically giving yourself a bigger front brake kit using all OEM parts. It's actually really cool, very cost affordable, and you can basically get everything else that you would need at the junkyard or O'Reilly. Most likely, I have the 11-inch big brake kit on my EF hatch, and that essentially is a Corrado rotor and LS front calipers and the bracket provided by Fast Brakes. It's insane. Boom, 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 all on your car. Essentially all Honda OEM, and you're good to go. So definitely check out Chris Sadowski's latest video because he's putting on his kit on the DA. All right, next up we got Yost Built getting La Vaca back up and running. He tried to do some new stuff, but you know what? He's back to what he's doing now. He's got some new piston rings and he's got those on in the block. And in this video, you actually have the car running. That's outstanding, dude. I love the fact that the whole motor is in the car, taking it apart, getting it all built back together and running all in the same video. I love that about you, man. You're just cranking, getting work done. I'm glad that your car is back up and running. All right, after that, we got DC Crush. I think this guy's actually out in Hawaii. He has a really, really great minty colored LS Integra. At least I believe it's an LS, and he's got the motor and everything back in the car, and he was about to turbo the car, but he had some complications. He needs to actually get the car emissioned and checked and everything like that, and I believe he's shipping it out to Texas. I'm not quite sure if you're in the military or not, so if you're watching this, definitely, man, let me know if I have that wrong, but I know you actually want to get the car tuned NA, get everything safety inspected, make sure the car is actually running correctly, and then when you get the car shipped back to Texas, get the turbo kit on there and have a lot of fun. All right, following that, we got Young Static, also working on the all-wheel drive CRX, but if you guys have been paying attention, which I'm sure you were, he got a donor EG hatch with a bunch of parts. I believe it got hit into a center divide, and you know what? The shell itself had to actually go to the junkyard, but it came with a lot of parts. I think the owner of the previous car literally and metaphorically actually hit a wall and decided I don't really want to deal with a lot of the parts, all the stuff that's in the car, and just dealing with people on Craigslist trying to get rid of it. So the first person he thought of was Dana. He figured, you know what? If I give the car to you, you'll know what to do. You can use the parts to progress the all-wheel drive Civic or just do whatever you need to do or use the stuff for yourself, and that's awesome. It's really great to know that you have subscribers out there in the world that just literally want to help you out and also just help the community. Like, all right, let's take my misfortune and actually help something else. So props to you, man. I'm really happy that everything's actually good with the previous owner and you are able to just, you know, act on it like you usually do and just go for it. Following that, we got Bodevision, which I'm really happy is finally finished with the Del Sol. If you guys haven't been watching, he's been doing a complete, well, not complete, but a big paint restoration on the Del Sol, which was a customer car, taking it apart, sanding, primering, getting everything together, and finally getting it finished so we actually can see the finished product of the car. I'm really happy that you've taken the time to actually do that because you actually found some cool new things for the Del Sol and actually getting everything put together with the final trim, because we all know that actually getting trim for the Del Sol is near impossible. So props to you, man. Following that, we got LaTommyLa putting the K20 Z3 in the EK sedan. The motor is in, the trans is in. In the latest video, he's actually putting the hybrid racing no-cut shifter box in the car, getting it all set up. If you watch the videos, you can tell how tight and notchy that shifter box is for the car. I'm really happy to say that any day now the motor is going to be started. It's probably started already, we just haven't seen the video of it, so hopefully next week you drop that one, man. Next up, we got PFI Speed, and it's really cool to know that Shane, Brent's son, actually put down the first tune that was actually in the new shop. I know that Brent put Kyle's car on the dyno and did a couple pulls to make sure everything was doing well, but Shane actually made the first tune in the new shop, so that's just Really cool that you put so much effort into getting your friend's car all set up. It's crazy that you lost a fingernail just accidentally in the fan shroud, but you know what? You didn't give up. You weren't just gonna leave your friend's car there just untuned like, sorry bro, I gotta bounce. You finished the car and made a lot of power. I'm really happy that you put the first tune down in the new shop. Next up, we got Big Murph. If you've been following around this channel for quite some time, you know that he built a motor for the hatch, and on the dyno he dropped a valve, but that didn't stop you. You've taken your time, you've bought new parts, and you've started putting together a new motor that's now in the car on the dyno, putting down power. So I'm really happy about that. I know the next couple videos you're out there just gonna be pumping gas into that car, running it around the streets, and just actually getting to feel, making it so you're actually out there having fun and actually ripping the motor that you actually put together yourself. So props to you, man. If you guys haven't been watching, definitely check out Big Murph's channel so you can see how happy this guy is with this car on the dyno and it making it off the dyno. Next up, we got SuicideCRX Hayden. Bought himself an RSX Type S, which is really cool because I hope to see some meticulous manifolds being made to turbo that car. I know you still have the RX-7 with the LS in it, and you know what? I can see that you probably just wanted another car. Just, you know what? I got a truck. I want another car to just kind of drive around in. You have enough parts to get the LS together, but you just want, you know, something else. So I can totally see that. I know it was like a whim. You saw a picture and you were just like, all right, man, I guess I'm buying this RSX. And I'm really happy that you're back in the Honda. And I can tell that you're pretty happy you got one too. Next up, we got Gerb Performance. Guy's been driving around a Civic Si for quite some time, hearing a little clunk in the front, and you know what? Finally today was the day that he couldn't take it anymore. So even though it was pitch black outside, he's got the car on jack stands, just torquing grabbing everything possible under the car to actually see what's going on. Luckily, it was an easy fix. I think he had a sway bar with a couple bolts loose. Definitely had a little extra clunk going on, but he figured it out. He got it all set up, and I'm really happy that you just didn't give up. You're just like, I gotta figure this out, and now your car is feeling mint yet again. Following that, we got Nick Sabella. This guy's got a couple channels on his car. I think a FRS or a BRZ. He's got a bagged Civic, and in his latest video, he's actually gonna do a disc swap in the rear. I guess he has drums, and he has some new arms with everything set up already. So he's basically showing you what he's got to do. He's got to take off all the extra arms that are on the rear. In his latest video, he's actually taking the arm and taking all the ball joints apart and getting everything set up to actually get swapped in the car. That's really cool, man. You always got cool stuff to do to your car. I'm really happy that you have a bagged Civic because it looks very good. The trunk setup is just outstanding, man. I'm a big fan of that. So definitely check out the Nick Sabella channel if you haven't already. Next up, we got Drivenfilms Photography. I've been waiting for this channel to actually make this video for quite some time. It's a manual versus auto motor discussion when it comes to the F20 series, and I'm not talking about the S2000, I'm talking about the Accord engines. Everybody knows there's kind of a difference between the manual engines and the automatic engines and what you can actually do to both of them to make good power. So while he's actually doing that with his own car right now, he's actually got some footage from J Mills Tuning showing you what he put down and what other things you can possibly do. I don't really know too much about these motors, so I'm really happy that you sat down and you're like, let's actually discuss this, because while a lot of people want to do F to B swaps or H to B swaps, you got a lot of options out there. So this might help actually weigh some things out. So if you're interested in the Accord engines and what their possibilities are, definitely check out Drivenfilms Photography. Last but not least, we got Bandit Evo. I'm really happy that you continue to enjoy your hatch, man. I know you got it. It's right-hand drive. You threw some TEs on it. I know you miss your Evo. You used to have one, and I'm fairly sure you'll end up with another one because that's basically what got you into cars. Well, not what got you into cars, but it's definitely what started your channel, and it's a chassis that you actually really love. But ever since you got your EG, you've been all about that conjo life. You bought your TEs. You've just kept the car super clean and just making it run as best as possible, keeping it as clean and OEM as you can. So I'm really happy about that, man. I'm really happy that you're also hanging out with your buddy with that crazy all-motor coupe. If you guys want to see some awesome pools, definitely check out the latest videos from Bandit Evo. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of the Honda Recap. Thank you so much for joining. All you guys in Premiere, thank you for sticking around this long. And for all you new people, this is the Honda Recap. Thank you for joining. If this is your first time, hit that subscribe button, hit that like and that bell so you're notified every Monday night at 8 when this thing airs. Basically sitting here, hanging out, talking Hondas, discussing down there in the live chat of the Premiere. Definitely let me know what you think. Head over to HondaVlogs.com/shop. Pick yourself up a sticker. I got a couple of those left. Thank you to everybody who has already supported the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. I got shirts and hoodies up there to keep you guys warm this winter. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next recap. Peace.